You're listening to the Impact Implosion on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
October 11th, 2018. It's another episode of the Impact Implosion here on the AngryMarks Podcast Network. As always, I'm Seth Drake, and on the other end is the Kira to my Maximo, Mr. Mike Poland.
What a show this was.
You said it was okay.
I only paid attention to the second half of it.
I paid attention to both acts of the show.
First half was what? The opener, which sounded good, and then the Grado stuff and the stuff with...
Trevor Lee, Petey Williams, Jack Evans, and Puma King. Trevor Lee yells the crowd to shut up, and the crowd is quiet before he yells them. Petey wins. Shut up! We're not saying anything. Petey Williams wins in a match. Crowd really didn't care. Look, we're not going to... Don't ever shoot TV in Mexico again. If we want dead, uninterested crowds, we can just go back to Universal Studios.
Yeah. You don't need to go back to Mexico. This is an experiment that clearly failed.
Yeah, they didn't care. So, backstage interview with Rich Swann.
And his partner is going to be with...
He's glad Matt found someone to buy that bull hockey that he's been spewing, and Rich Swann says his partner will be someone who will be even with him, Willie Mack.
Monkeys in a truck. Play the video package.
Yep, Willie Mack is revealed to be Rich Swann's partner.
Way to not have any intrigue going into the pay-per-view.
Oh, yep. So... After that, it's Grado versus Maximo.
Because why not?
And it starts off with Maximo in the crowd wanting Grado to kiss him. And yes, this whole match is gay jokes. Grado does not want to be with Maximo be acting completely like Rico out there. And
I was going to say Gold Dust, but yes.
Yeah, Rico out there, and I'm like, at least the crowd's reacting to this match, but I'm not.
And it's one of their guys.
Yeah, crowd is booing Grado, and Maximo wins
as they should
after kissing Grado and then rolling him up.
And that's the match.
That's the match. Grado shakes Maximo's hand and then kisses Maximo. Maximo is happy. Glad someone is, because I'm not. Then Eddie Edwards, Falaba, and Johnny Impact are backstage. It's basically they're all ready for Killer Cross, Austin Aries, and Moose.
And
video package to set up the Bound for Glory series Concrete Jungle Street Death Match, which they showed the freaking hit and run to promote this.
Richie!
Oh, dear God. By the way, me and Full Killer had an interesting conversation about the fact that King and the OGs are not in jail right now because, in fact, you may not know this is not a situation where pro wrestlers aren't pressing charges here. This is a kid. If his parents didn't want to press charges, the cops have everything to press charges.
That should be the end of the storyline, is at the end of the match they get arrested.
But then again...
Nope.
This is the same company that had Dixie Carter lose in court on a clear-cut case of fraud with Hogan
Impact
and Bischoff.
Wrestling, everybody. The more things change, the more things stay the same.
And speaking of 2010, GWN Moment of the Week. Bound for Glory 2010, Fatal 4-Way for the Knockouts title. With Mickey James as the referee, Taro regains the title in a really weak-ass roll-up. But yes, a few days later, which they don't show, she would give the belt back to Madison Rayne, lay down. They would do the finger poke of doom.
That terrible episode of Impact.
Yes, in the worst episode of Impact probably ever.
Yes, where they had a 50-minute segment to explain the Immortal storyline.
Yes, the opening segment. With different angles, different parts. Video package.
It must take half the night to explain the storyline.
Then it's the video package to hype up the 6-man tag OVE rules match as the Lucha Brothers and Brian Cage take on the OVE.
Which could be two separate matches to help beef up this card a little more, but you know.
Backstage interview with Eli Drake, who the crowd is actually booing. Yes. The crowd at Eli Drake is actually with this crowd as a heel. They ask about you can't get counted. He's like, hey, look, Parker brought in the chair. That should be a DQ in my book. And I'm like, you brought in the chair. Hey, look, Parker brought in the chair. He got that's a DQ in my book. He doesn't care. But he says, I'm going to do something special for Bound for Glory. I'm going to issue an open challenge to anyone from New York. If you're not from New York, you're not allowed to answer.
Oh, break the walls down.
He's from Winnipeg.
He's from Manhattan.
He's born in Manhattan. He's from Winnipeg.
Doesn't matter. It's wrestling. They can leave out that little detail.
He's from Winnipeg.
WWE used to announce it from Manhattan.
They said he was born in Manhattan.
Yeah.
He lived in Tampa in real life.
Wrestling. We can overlook certain details as legitimate hometowns.
Yes. He's from Winnipeg. He lives in Florida. He was only born in Manhattan because his dad played for the Rangers at the time.
Yay.
So, next up, Gama Singh comes out, calling both members of the Desi Hit Squad to no ovate, cheers, or boos. And the loser, they're going to
normal, except, you know.
They're going to fight each other. Loser has to go back to India, leave the Desi Hit Squad.
Why can't they both go back to India?
I don't know. And Josh has to remind us, this is the last Impact before Bound for Glory.
No, because really? I had no idea. I thought there was one more.
Because, yes, hey, you want to buy $40 for a pay-per-view this Sunday? I'm like, not really. Not with what you're doing. So, this was a nothing match. Rohit Raju wins. Gursunder Singh is gone back to India.
And the commentary jokes about it.
Gama Singh comes back in, slaps Rohit, leaves with him, and leaves Gursinder Singh high and dry.
Trying to make it an emotional moment, but nobody cares and nobody watching cares.
And then we go to the match, which actually has Bound for Glory series and Bound for Glory implications. Johnny Impact followed by an Eddie Edwards versus Austin Aries, Killer Kross, and Moose.
Yay, feuds. And this was good.
This was fine. Although, who was the brainchild who decided Aries needed to pin Johnny Impact? Because really, you just made us not want to watch Bound for Glory for your main event because the champion already beat the challenger. Why the fuck would I want to do that? It's not how you book a go show. Bad booking. So,
you should have had Moose pin Eddie or something.
Time to remind everyone that Abyss will be the first homegrown talent to go into the Impact Hall of Fame, largely because he's the only homegrown talent left.
That didn't go to another company.
Yeah.
And then we had an Alley segment, because she's going to be too young.
Yeah, because then they do the whole Bound for Glory series card. And James Mitchell is on the piano.
Yes.
And Allie shows up. And Allie's like, James, I need you to get me back to the undead realm. And I'm like, wait, when were you in the... And James Mitchell explains that when Allie went into the coffin originally, she had to leave her soul there. So her body is here, but her soul isn't.
So wait, she died and she's a zombie Alley?
Basic, I guess.
That'd be a good gimmick, actually.
I know. And Allie says, I want to go back to the undead realm to save Kira. I originally thought it was Rosemary. It's Kira Hogan.
Some friend you are, you don't want to save your other friend?
Gotta choose one.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see both of them in that match anyway.
Yep. We're going to see both of them anyway. So, James Mitchell says, okay, it's on Sunday, I'll leave the coffin open. You go back to the undead realm and try to get the soul back. I ain't going to guarantee it works.
Who will save your soul?
Yeah. I'm not going to get Kira Hogan's soul, get Kira Hogan back. I'm not going to sure it's going to work.
Yeah.
But yes, it's because of James Mitchell.
It's the undead realm.
Yep, the undead realm.
Oof.
So, next up we have Tessa Blanchard versus the chick I thought was Sexy Star a few weeks ago, but was actually someone named Kira, who is a second-generation wrestler.
And Tessa wins.
Tessa wins. Okay match. It was a squash match. Tessa talks about how she's going to retain the title. Not on the mic. Yeah, and then our main event is LAX OG segment. Summit. But it is a segment. So King talks about how he's been embarrassing the LAX throughout this entire process. I'm like, dude, the OGs haven't won a match against LAX. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You haven't embarrassed them once.
No, you just killed a kid.
No, they didn't kill the kid. Because remember specifically said, I wish the kid was dead, but he wasn't. The kid survived. Yeah, the kid survived. Yo, you ran over a kid. That's the only thing you did. And you spit in Conan's face.
And you hit him with a sock full of quarters.
So Conan tells the crowd, tells him that I could say the word and the crowd can basically bum rush you right now. And I'm like,
I want to see that.
And he's like, and King dares him do it. It would break the ceasefire because it would break the ceasefire. And said, Conan
would actually give the crowd some life.
I will beat you, King, because I raised you like a father you never had. So he said, you're disrespecting the G code and all this. I got a message from the guys who have ordered the ceasefire. It's over. Starting right now. And they fight.
How convenient.
And that's the end of the show with a hard Bound for Glory series cell. Not series. Bound for Glory cell. There is no Bound for Glory series anymore.
A lukewarm Bound for Glory cell.
Jesus Christ, this was lame.
You could have done more. You could have done more.
You could have done a lot more, but no, you wanted to pander to Mexico and pander to a crowd that doesn't give a shit. Oh, by the way, I just learned that Don Callis may be leaving New Japan for this shit.
Don't do it.
He may be officially gone from New Japan.
Oh, God.
Yeah. So we can be booker and basically commentator for this nightmare.
And speaking of a nightmare, it's time to preview the pay-per-view.
Yep, time to break the pay-per-view. Time for the pay-per-view final sell of this Bound for Glory, Matt Sydal and Ethan Page versus Rich Swann and Willie Mack.
Faces win. Sydal, Page takes the fall.
Yeah, I think that
jump Sydal out.
Yeah, I think the faces win this one.
Yep. Next is Tessa and Taya. It's obvious that Tessa wins because I don't think Taya's sticking around.
Taya, yeah, that might be it. If Taya could, which she seems to have finally figured out this, visa issue. She seems to have figured it out finally. So she's got permanent residency here. She's got residency here now, even though she's.
All right, so maybe she'll win and then starts off between those two.
Yeah, she might win here. So
it's a toss up on that one.
Yeah, that's a toss up. I got Taya winning, but all right. Eli Drake versus open challenge.
Someone from New York.
Yes.
MVP.
Depending on who it is, Eli Drake may win. If it's like, it's real, I really don't know that one. Allie versus Su Yung. Allie wins. I think this is the end of Su Yung.
Story.
I think this is the end of Su Yung. I don't know if there's going to be much more of her left.
No, they've destroyed her pretty much in fashion.
LAX versus the OGs in a concrete street jungle death match, whatever that is.
Speaking of feuds that need to end,
LAX wins.
OGs leave and Kingston does nothing.
I don't know what the fuck this match is. It's gonna, I guess, outside again. They're gonna fight outside again. Speaking of matches with the basic same stipulations, OVE rules match.
Because it's Impact, and we're going to have a bunch of stipulation matches.
We're going to have two of the same stipulations. Two matches with basically the same rules, which are no rules.
Fantastic.
OVE versus Cage and the Lucha Brothers. Cage and the Lucha Brothers are winning.
Yep. This should be separate matches if they were smart.
Yeah, but it's not.
And they're not smart.
No, they're not.
You don't even need to have Cage and Callahan for the X Division title. You could have just had them as a semi-main event program for this show.
Eddie Edwards versus Moose. Moose. We both at the same time said it. So we knew where this is going.
Yep.
And our main event for the world title, Aries versus Impact.
Aries.
Impact.
Really?
Yeah. I think they're going to do it. Give Impact the win.
And what, feud him with Moose?
Feud him with Moose. They can feud him with a bunch of people. Eli Drake, if he's still around. They can do a bunch of things. So I think Impact's finally getting that after last year. Unless some bullshit happens like last year.
Unless they bring back Alberto again.
Yeah, and pull some bullshit again. And we go through this.
They've done that the past couple of years for Bound for Glory, at least.
I know, or do this whole rigmarole again, end us with a screwjob finish.
Bound for Glory, do not buy unless you really want
to. Bound for snoring.
Super Showdown had a better lineup and actually was a good show.
Hell,
in any event.
Freaking Crown Jewel has a better lineup. I ain't watching that show, and that show may not even happen anymore based on that bullshit. We're not even going to get into that.
That's a different topic for a different show.
That's a different topic for a different show, and that's oh boy. That's a nightmare.
Oh, PR.
Terrible PR, which involves murder.
Murder and money.
Murder and blood money. Oh, God.
Good God. Good God.
Yeah, WWE really, you're taking an L on this one.
Yeah.
So
And on that note, I got nothing to sell this week.
I got nothing to sell this week either. With that being said, Miley, we are heading to bed.
Good night, everybody.